Reinhold Niebuhr's famous Serenity prayer is an invitation for inner and outer peace. It also demonstrates what I see as a difference between serenity and tranquility. It's a call for mindful presence in accepting that some things, however much we wish they could, can't be changed. It's a recognition that some things, however scary it is to confront them, can be addressed, and that peace is nurtured as we distinguish between the two and respond accordingly. It carries three elements: acceptance, courage, and wisdom. And these are muscles that we grow and sustain through rhythm and repetition. So what is the difference between serenity and tranquility? What I love about this prayer is that it sees serenity not as a destination, but as a process. It acknowledges serenity is not an absence of suffering, but rather it's a recognition of our position within life's disturbances. This sometimes gets lost when we think of serenity as distancing from life's struggles. We might picture serenity as a harmonious life without conflict, suffering, or worry. But the prayer paints an opposite picture to that. It helps us locate ourselves within the struggles, within reality, and it posits that serenity is a way of relating to, processing, and engaging with the everyday challenges of ordinary life and the shocks that can hit us without warning. Although they're used interchangeably, it can be helpful to distinguish between serenity and tranquility. This is not a universal definition. This is just my way of separating two distinct concepts as I see them. Serenity helps peace to flow from the inside to the outside, and tranquility aims to invite peace from the outside to the inside. And this is why we examine the relationship with our inner world during our month of serenity in the Haven, and our month of tranquility focuses on the conditions that we have and that we create around us in the external world. Serenity is how we prepare to engage with the world around us in gentle ways. Tranquility is about designing our environments, our routines, our lifestyles, our relationships, so that they can become deep sources of energy for us. This distinction matters because it allows us to focus on different sides of the coin, above and below, within and without. There's always something that we can consider on one side of that equation, even when there's nothing that we can do about it on the other. We sometimes find ourselves in noisy environments caused by an external disturbance that we can't control. This kind of noise is sensory, it enters through our eyes, through our ears, through our nose, our mouth, our nerve endings. And serenity is the best option if we're unable to stop the cause of the noise, whether that's our proximity to it or the source itself. Serenity can accept that things are as they are and choose our response to the noise. This can include acknowledging the feelings that have been provoked within us. We can recognize how the noise has caused disturbance for us, and we can then respond in a way that allows us to maintain as much composure and energy as possible within that situation. Perhaps all we can do is tell ourselves a story that invites understanding and tolerance, seeing the situation from another perspective. Maybe we can remind ourselves that this is temporary, that the discomfort will pass. The option of tranquility helps us to examine the conditions of the disturbance, both in terms of the cause of the noise and our relationship with the noise. We might ask ourselves, is this a common disturbance for us? What would need to change for the cause of the noise to diminish? Or if the cause can't be altered, how can we shift our position to the noise? How might we implement a boundary, change expectations, or move away from the noise source? Nurturing serenity from the inside out can also bring peace and gentleness to the world around us. For example, we can diffuse it instead of retaliating in an escalating situation. And rather than adding to the noise, we can model an alternative approach that might inspire others. Serenity is not always an easy option when internal feedback loops kick in. This kind of noise comes from our thoughts, our feelings, our judgments. We might draw instead, in these situations, on tranquility. We can take action to invite more calm and peace to our inner world. This sort of tranquility emerges through things like processes and practices and behaviours. There are quick fixes that we might find helpful. For example, breathing exercises, stepping away, and then longer term conditions for more peace, creating positive boundaries, establishing energizing habits, and engaging in meaningful creative practices. Tranquility is a good option in the face of sudden change and loss, when our minds are understandably shaken, chaotic and scattered. Drawing on go-to tranquility practices can anchor us over time through repeated concrete actions. Serenity and tranquility work together. The more we develop our awareness and understanding of the differences between serenity and tranquility, the more they fuse and dance together. Our inner world becomes influenced by our outer world, and our external world starts reflecting the state of our inner world. This is not to say that they become the same. We will always face unwanted noises, unwanted disturbances. Sometimes this will disrupt our tranquility, and other times it will destroy our serenity. But we can fill our toolbox with options to draw from that can help us ride out life's storms, hang in there when things are tough, and come back to ourselves in time.